just making political barbs at the Election Commission of India? Will they be able to furnish any proof? Is there any proof that we're talking about? That is coming up first on Plain Speak this evening. Where is the proof and who's going to come forward to give it to us? Next, we'll dive into Rahul Gandhi's latest legal woes. Has he become a liability for the Congress party as the leader of opposition, and his comments landing up in trouble? That's the second debate on Plain Speak this evening. And seasons come and go, but it seems our cities just keep going downwards and downwards. We get you ground reports from across the country highlighting the poor state of affairs. It's time to save our cities. Focusing on the voter theft charge, a police complaint has been filed against Tejashwi Yadav over the two voter IDs row. And here's what this is all about. Remember, Tejashwi Yadav claimed that his name is not in the electoral rolls, the draft electoral rolls that were released after the SIR in Bihar, and that he mentioned a different epic number in a press conference. But quickly, in a strong rebuttal, the Election Commission claimed his name was mentioned in rolls since 2015, but they pointed to a different epic card in Tejashwi's name. Election Commission has issued notice over two different numbers now and said that the second epic card has been obtained via unofficial channels. Can you imagine the ignominy if such a big politician himself is caught in a row like this? But Tejashwi isn't the only one. Rahul Gandhi also faces heat over charges that he has been making over voter theft. So while he has claimed that he has this atom bomb of a proof, here's what's striking. He's yet to reply even to the Election Commission's letter a while ago seeking response on the voter fraud charges that were initially leveled in context of Maharashtra. He had earlier claimed he will hold a news briefing to furnish this proof. The scheduled briefing for today has been postponed to when, we don't know. So there's no clarity yet on when the Congress party is actually going to come out and give us any of this proof. Like I said, if indeed the charge is what it is, then nothing else matters right now, not just for Bihar, but even for the entire country. Responding to the charges that opposition has been making, in fact, the Election Commission has claimed that no claims or objections have been filed by any political parties yet. All political parties put together have filed 0 claims. This is in context of the SIR draft voter roll. No request for addition or deletion of ineligible electors has come forward. So what is the brouhaha all about? Unless there is actual proof in the hands of somebody, how are any of these charges going to be taken seriously? Does the opposition have that proof of voter theft, or is this all a political tamasha? That debate is coming up.
ये एप्लीकेशन है, मेरा भी नहीं है। हम चुनाव कैसे लड़ेंगे?
We have such proof that will show the whole country that the institution of the Election Commission does not exist.
मैं राहुल जी से कहना चाहूंगा बहुत विनम्रता के साथ, अगर आपके पास सबूतों का एटम बम है, सारे सबूत जनता के सामने रखिए, मगर सच्चाई यह है कि उनके पास न कोई तथ्य है, न सबूत है।
राहुल गांधी संवैधानिक संस्थाओं को बदनाम करने में लगे हुए हैं। सीबीआई ठीक काम नहीं कर रही है, कभी वो कहते हैं ईडी ठीक काम नहीं कर रहे हैं। अब कई दिनों से वो चुनाव आयोग, जो एक निष्पक्ष संस्था है, उसको बदनाम करने में लगे।
Let's go across to our guest joining us, Siddharth Yadav from the BJP, Dr. Pooja Tripathi from the Congress joining us. Dr. Shyam Kumar is spokesperson of the RJD also with us, and Rajat Sethi is a political analyst. I do thank you all for your time. Dr. Shyam Kumar, I begin with you. What explains the fact that your most popular leader himself has 2 voter IDs? He's been caught in his own web.
Nothing like that. Time will prove every fact. and the EC has already issued letter, as you people are also speaking something on that tone. So just wait and watch. We will reply with confidence. We are the people at the ground. We are fighting the battle of the people at large. What we are suffering, you people are never raising this question. The how 65 lakh people have gone out of the process. People have gone outside. That is not larger question. That is not a bigger question. One individual case you are taking. So reply after a couple of days later. Do not worry.
So you think it's not an important matter that leader of opposition in Bihar has been caught having 2 voter IDs?
So we will reply that on that point.
No, but this came out a while ago. There is still no clarity within the party. I mean, what is the response on this? How does he have his names at 2 different epic cards?
No, there is absolutely clarity. You don't worry. Our leader has shown in the public view, not in the personal view. You people have seen it. Press conference. He has spoken clearly. So time will tell it. Time will prove it.
No, does he have 2 ID cards or no? Is he denying that he has another epic card number that the EC has released?
Nowadays, what is happening, for a couple of years and decades, the things are, tempered and, mechanical things are happening. Examinations followed by paper leak. Everything is happening. We are well aware. As a media, you have seen, you have covered many such programs. So from our side, our battle is for the people of Bihar.
I understand that, sir. But Mr. Kumar, what example does it set?
No, nothing.
That if you're saying the system is highly corrupt, I think that's a fair point, and I think on that the EC should clarify as to how somebody can get 2 epic cards if one of them is through fraudulent means. I think that responsibility lies on them. But when political leaders like Tejashwi Yadav and Rahul Gandhi come out and make such serious allegations against the EC, they should also be able to back their claims, right? And first of all, you should have your house in order. You can't be caught having 2 epic cards.
There is nothing, absolutely nothing like that. And let's, all agencies have written us. We will reply that question. But we are again, I would like to quote the people who have gone outside of a state. Will easy for them to check everything like you, like me.
No, fair enough. I have been maintaining, Dr. Shyam Kumar, you've been on my show also, representatives of your party has been on my show. I've been following this SIR debate since day one. And I think the one point on which I feel that there needs to be greater clarification from the EC is how are migrant laborers or migrant workers being accommodated as far as this exercise is concerned. Now, 30 lakh plus have been found to be either registered elsewhere or not found in the state. Could a large number of them be people who just couldn't participate in this exercise? But I'll come to that in just a bit. Siddharth Yadav, please respond to the clarification that is coming in from the RJD, that all will come out in the open in good time. Give them time to tell the public how Tejashwi Yadav has 2 cards.
Well, I don't think this is a clarification. And I don't think that the RJD has been able to clarify such a big offense that their leader has himself accused himself of doing. He has confessed that he has done so. And once such a leader of such stature, he is the leader of opposition in Bihar, when he confesses in public that he is possessing 2 election iCards, I think greater clarifications should come very quickly. This is just before the Bihar elections. If the supreme leader is having this, God knows what the Karyakartas are having, what the Congress party is having.
Is it his fault if he has 2 epic card numbers? I mean, what were the agencies doing? How did he get the second number?
Shivani, with all humility, I don't think that the Election Commission can issue a card without someone applying for it. There definitely is a flaw that how 2 cards are issued to the same person, but the documents provided for both the cards must have been given by the candidate itself. There is no provision in law that the Election Commission would, by itself decide that a card has to be given without submission of any documents.
So shouldn't the first one be cancelled if somebody is applying for a second time?
And definitely so. So you have to declare. So I'll tell you what the law says. So you have to declare if you are applying for a new election card. You have to declare that if you possess one already, then you have to apply for a cancellation. There's a separate form for that. Once you apply for that, and which you're given a slip of proof that you have applied for that, the process for cancellation goes simultaneously with the process of your new application. But I'm very sure that there's a lot more to it, because neither Tejashwi Yadav has cancelled his earlier card. I don't know what he plans to do with 2 ID cards. We do not even know what the entire the cadre of RJD is planning with possessing multiple cadre cards. And with that, I just wish to make a small political point. Is that the reason why the entire process was being questioned? Is that the reason why the RJD was coming out and saying that we might not participate in the elections? Is that the reason why the sanctity of institutions like Election Commission was questioned?
Mr.
Because
Kumar,
for
you
their
want to
own
respond to
personal
that?
gains,
Because those questions will arise today. All this questions over the SIR before any kind of negligence can be found on the part of the EC. Was it to hide the fact that several people, I'm not just saying for your party or your leader, but several people could be found to have multiple cards, which the EC says they've found, either duplicate cards or those who have deceased?
No, that is a easy role to play in between. But one thing I would like to respond to my esteemed friend from BJP. Sir, we are demanding for discussion in the parliament. Why you people are running from discussion? This is utter surprise for people at large. To discuss every matter, you are like how many people are losing the every right to vote. You don't have any concern for these people. You are ruling Bihar with double engine sarkar with the JDU. So you have some sense of
so
responsibility.
please let me respond to that.
Okay, Mr. Yadav, very quickly. Siddharth Yadav, very quickly. I have to go to our other guests as well.
Yes, I'll give a very quick response.
Please,
We
you
can
proceed,
have
my dear friend.
we can have a discussion at any length that we wish on television studios and parliament, but that does not solve what you're trying to raise. The suspicion that you raise in the Election Commission invited you for objections. You did not come up with any objections. The Election Commission invited you for representations. You not even went ahead and met them. Your BLAs, the booth level agents of your political party, and specifically speaking for the RJD, almost 60,000 of them participated in this process of SIR. You have no objections to raise, but you want to sit on television channels and have a debate anywhere and everywhere just because you want to create a scapegoat for your coming imminent loss.
I don't want
That
this to
is
be
it.
derailed on the issue of the parliament debate. I think the Parliamentary Affairs Minister has said what he has to say. Political parties can differ on it, whether the debate should take place in Parliament or not. The Parliamentary Affairs Minister has said they can't respond on behalf of the EC. That's just what it is. The Law Minister doesn't have the remit to go into this. But Dr. Pooja, I want to come to you. You know, all of these talk of voter theft and very serious allegations being made. Very serious allegations over Maharashtra result post facto, Karnataka result post facto. Now, of course, there are issues cropping up in Bihar, let's say, ahead of the elections, in Bengal, in Tamil Nadu even. But when the Congress leader says he has an atom bomb to drop on the EC, naturally people are asking that please drop the bomb. We're all waiting to hear what is the evidence here. Ma'am, I think you're on mute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Shivani, today a press conference was scheduled at 4 p.m. by the leader of opposition himself, and tomorrow he was traveling to Bengaluru to give a memorandum to the election commissioner officials at Bengaluru and have a protest rally too. But it has been deferred because of Shibu Sorenji's untimely demise, and tomorrow he'll be traveling to Ranchi for the funeral, and he will drop atom bomb. He does not shy away from press conferences because we have come to this conclusion after 6 months of, we have shortened we have narrowed down a constituency, we have digitized the whole format, we went into the details of it, and we have some credible evidence against the Election Commission, which he will share with press conference. I have no idea about the new timeline for the press conference. It was to held today at 4 p.m. and it will be held in a day or two. He does not shy away.
But
coming to your, Siddharth just mentioned that there may be political reason why they want Sir. So yesterday a research came out, Election Commission data itself, a scroll came out a research that 43 out of 243 constituencies that saw the maximum deletion, 60% are women. I would add to your migrant labor's point as women are being, deleted off the draft rolls. 5 out of 10 districts that saw the maximum deletion, it's a Muslim-dominated area. 13.9 lakh people are facing floods. 500 villages have been submerged in the floods by July 24, 2025. This is the stats of Bihar. So when you say it's a political, then you keep, we see the whole videos, whole draft roll photos on the internet, father ka naam, father, mother ka naam, mother ka naam, Election Commission of India. There's a home where there's a Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Isai, unreserved, reserved, every SC, ST, this represents a very secular India. And that's where when we say this is the whole point of, this unrealistic timeline that has been given, no verification process, no awareness campaign, nothing gracious enough, 1 month. And now when we see the onus of proving citizenship, this is an exercise which has changed the universal adult franchise from presumed inclusion to presumptive exclusion, and that's what we are discussing. The onus to prove that I am a citizen of India, I have a vote in Digha, Bihar, would be I have to take those documents to Election Commission of India. Many objections have been raised. You have said political parties are not come. Today we took up press conference. Our AICC secretary.
The EC has actually, in the context of Congress's charges, has said that they have in the past written letters to Rahul Gandhi. He has not even once written anything to them. They have invited him once publicly to come in front of them. Other Congress leaders went. Many of them wanted to go. Some of them were not allowed inside. 2 of them were allowed inside. I don't want to get into those semantics. The main issue here is every day the electorate of this country is being told your elections are rigged. And ma'am, with due respect, Pooja ji, you mentioned all of the concerns related to Bihar SIR. Bihar SIR is not a closed chapter. There is a month of appeals and objections. The Supreme Court has taken cognizance of this issue. It's not a closed chapter. What is a closed chapter indeed? Rajat Sethi, are elections in Maharashtra Assembly, are the Karnataka Lok Sabha elections, and on both of these, Rahul Gandhi has now not just raised suspicion, he has declared them to be fraudulent. How fair is that?
It is, a child's rant which just doesn't stop. I mean, it goes on and on and on. I have been bored about what Rahul Gandhi brings to the table. For all the elections, not just this elections, ever since COVID times, all the elections that have been happening, his only rant is elections are fraudulent. All he does is put acid onto one of the important institutions, a constitutional institution for that matter. What have you done today? In one of his speeches before his Congress supporters or workers, he was saying that I don't have proof for Maharashtra. Throughout Maharashtra, post-Maharashtra election, he kept saying, as if it is, fate accomplished that this election is good, they are going to lose. After losing that election badly, he came out and said, oh my God, so many crores of voters were fake, they were added between the 2 time zones. He was not able to prove a single document or a single vote out of his crores of claims that he made were of fraudulent votes, not a single one. And this man, if he had a single claim or single proof, he would have gone to the Supreme Court. Now he wants to do another circus out here saying that I have an atom bomb. What kind of a childish behavior is this? That I will drop an atom bomb? If you have, I give you a challenge. First, go and answer the questions that Election Commission has asked you. Are those difficult questions for you that you don't have answers to?
Can I bring in Pooja in this? Pooja, how are we supposed to take...
Absolutely ridiculous.
How are we
there has
supposed
to be a
to
limit
take
in this country, Shivani, when this absolute irresponsible behavior needs to stop at some point.
No, but Pooja, can you deny that all of this Maharashtra accusations have just gone into the back burner? The Congress is no longer talking about it.
He himself claims he doesn't have proof.
October 9, you said we have not met. October 9, October 24, December 3, December 10, February 7, our representative, our delegation has met Election Commission of India. Why do you want
February you're talking about? We are in August now. These allegations have been picked up and thrown every day at the EC with alarming regularity, but also with, increasing crescendo only in the last 3 to 4 months.
So what we saw Haryana, we asked them to release the post 5 p.m. CCTV footage after the Mahmood Pracha judgment. Election Commission's overturns come out with a midnight legislation that the CCTV footage would be deleted. You say we asked you a machine readable format. You say we give it to your, your representatives. We give it to your booth agents. What is Election Commission here for? Election Commission is here for conducting.
Pooja, the question is, these complicated things that you're throwing at the public, they don't understand this. They want to hear if the leader is saying there is some fraudulence going on, what is the evidence of that? Now, Maharashtra is on the back burner. No, I'm sorry. Maharashtra is now on the back burner. The EC fact-checked the figures that were being quoted by Rahul Gandhi and the Congress party on Maharashtra several times, and since then we haven't heard anything from the Congress party. So how are we supposed to take... Ma'am, once again, how are we supposed to take seriously the allegations that are now shifting to Karnataka? Rajat wants to come in very quickly, then I'll go across to Siddharth Yadav as well.
Simple question that the Election Commission asked. Please go out and check with your own party's agents, polling agents. Look at the Form 17A that they have signed off. Does Rahul Gandhi not believe in his own party's political agent, polling agents? It is a bizarre scenario here.
They're
that you
saying
don't
that they
understand
didn't.
the processes.
They're saying they didn't have the time to do this.
Oh my God! You have had 6 to 7 months by now, where you could have gone through each of these Form 17As, corroborated each line item by line item, everything. You can do that. Do it for one assembly seat. Forget about the entire state. Prove a case even
They've
for
done it
single
for
booth.
one assembly
I'm saying
seat.
single booth. I'm challenging you. Put the table. In fact,
done it
you know,
for
Shivani, the most outrageous thing is that Rahul Gandhi himself, in just a couple of days back, in that auditorium, he says that I have no proof for Maharashtra. This is what he himself claims.
Is this shoot?
And
Is
goes
this?
on to say that now I have proof, and
Is
now
this?
I'm
Is
able to
this
prove.
shoot and scoot all over again, Pooja? Siddharth and Mr. Kumar, I'm coming to you next. Pooja, shoot and scoot again.
No, we have been raising. Election Commission themselves have admitted that there have been increase in voters numbers in Maharashtra, and we have made continuous. I'm talking about the whole timeline from October 9 to February 7. We have been asking two simple demands: release post 5 p.m. CCTV footage and give us a machine-readable format. Why do you put the onus of proving on candidates? What is your role?
Oh my
here?
God.
Your role here.
Pooja, how are we going to do this? You have to bring a complaint and a formal complaint, and there has to be some basis for that complaint. Only then can an EVM machine be opened. There is a timeline for it. Only then can CCTV footages be checked. There is a timeline for it.
Party delegation made a formal complaint. I
When?
can show you the
When was this complaint made?
So I have given you the timeline: October 9, 24, December 3, December 24, and
No, when was the complaint made? Regarding which specific constituency? Which candidate?
Karnataka constituency. We have done all the details, and the press conference would be out in a day or two.
No. Now you're going to Karnataka now, but I'm talking to you about Maharashtra. Till you prove your test case in Maharashtra, nobody is going to take this impending atom bomb in Karnataka seriously, unless, of course, you come out and present us that proof. But the EC's contention is that this is a political war being fought against us as an, as a constitutional body. We are being dragged into the politics on a day-to-day basis, but nobody is actually coming to us with any evidence. And there are procedures, there are checks and balances available. The political parties are not making use of that, Mr. Yadav, but they're coming and, giving statements in the media every time.
Shivani, for even a moment, if I would believe that Rahul Gandhi had some substantial proof, and if any ordinary citizen of this country would have been in his shoes, what would he do? He would make a formal complaint to the Election Commission. If the Election Commission doesn't hear him, then there's a procedure of moving to the court under the election petition. He has not done that. Rather, when on one of the cases when the Supreme Court was hearing, the Supreme Court had to make a statement that the political parties cannot make it a habit that when you lose, there is no problem. There is a problem, and when you win, there is no problem.
Their own alliance members have actually said it now. Nobody is taking it seriously.
We are in a country where some leader would come up with a cardboard EVM in a Vidhan Sabha, give a demonstration with some plastic buttons and say this is how EVMs work. We are in a country wherein Rahul Gandhi, a leader of opposition, in whose own constituency in Wayanad, 7.7% voters were added before the election, has no problem. But when the same is done in Maharashtra, he has a problem. We have a Rahul Gandhi, a Tejashwi Yadav. When voters are deleted in Bihar, they have a problem. When 22.5 lakh voters are deleted in Telangana, they don't have a problem. We just have one correlation in all of this. And that is the politics of convenience. And the politics of convenience they have taken it little too far. They have taken it little too far by questioning the institutions of our country, demeaning the democracy of our country for their own political gains.
Okay, very quickly, I want to shift our attention.
Deserve this. The country does not deserve this.
I want to very quickly shift our attention to this SIR question. Mr. Yadav, won't you concede that 30 lakh people either having shifted, declared as shifted, or having not found? Isn't that too high a number for the Bihar electorate, about 7-8 crores? Should there not be questions asked of who these people are and whether all people who are away from Bihar were managed to tap on?
Shivani, the People of Representation Act mandates that the only person who lives in a constituency and the state would have a right to vote in that state. This is a law. The Election Commission has not made it up. The Bharatiya Janata Party has not made it up.
But what about migratory workers?
Wherever they are working, wherever they have a residence proof, they would have to work upon it. And the 30 lakh people that you are talking about most of them also include people who must have passed away.
No,
people
this
who must
doesn't
have
include
had-
people who passed away. Passed away is a separate list of 20 lakh. 30 lakh is people who are either not found or have shifted. But don't you think
Right.
that's too high a number? And certainly some explanations should come forward from the EC as to how many migratory workers did they able to get in touch with. Because the biggest issue is those who go outside of their state or constituency to work, but come back and live there for the rest of the year and vote there. What about them?
Shivani, I think, we can't be making speculations about this because a very exhaustive process has happened. Now, I'll tell you, the political parties, or even if Congress party or the RJD would have a problem, or the Bharatiya Janata Party for that matter, would have a problem that in some village, say a migratory worker was not included. The month that we are having this discussion, this entire month is for that. Every political party has BLAs. 1,50,000 of them.
But you
more
can't
than the BLOs,
really,
more than
no,
the
no,
volunteers.
1 second. Is the process becoming a punishment of sorts? And Rajat Sethi, as a Congress spokesperson, said, you've kind of put the onus, instead of including people as much as possible, you've made this an exclusionary process. If the onus is on the voter to come and prove, even if he's away from the state and his home.
No, I mean, there is a lot of presupposition in your statement, Shivani. You're saying that people are there and their votes have been removed by some process or the
People
other.
are away from their homes right now, but their votes
happens
have
all
been...
the time. I'm come from UP. Every time there is an election, I have to put in a responsibility because inadvertently they remove my name from my list, from the list of my hometown. I have to go physically and put in my request that no, I'm still there. It happens, that effort by the whole merit of the election process where you can get registered. And this is why, the root cause is, the solution for the root cause is link Aadhaar card with the, with your voter ID cards. Who has the biggest problem in that? Congress party has the biggest problem. Why don't you do that? The moment you do that, automatically you'll be registered at only one place. So all this, by a click of a button, you can show all these 30 lakh people who've been removed from Bihar list, where all they are registered. In a click of a button, you will get that data. But why does Congress party oppose this simple, IT-based solution where you can link voter ID with the Aadhaar card? And of course, Aadhaar not being the sole document, but one identifier which you can go in and staple with the voter ID.
Pooja.
At least that is going to give you a base results. Here you are trying to presuppose that 30 lakhs is a big number. Can you tell me how is it a big number?
The
It is not
percentages,
big.
the percentages
No, it's
of the
not.
total
It's not
Bihar
big
electorate.
number. This is the migration, especially Bihar is the biggest migrant state.
Which
in the
is
whole
why
you will
people
get an
are
outlier
which
data
is
here.
why people are
State to vote.
apprehensive that those who don't have the kind of agency that maybe Rajat Sethi or Shivani Gupta has, they will miss out.
No, if they are sitting in Surat and are working in industry, by all means they can either register in
If they
Surat
are-
or they'll go back. Do you
Punjab-
think they're going to
if
go
they are
back?
sitting in Punjab
I don't
and
know.
working as an agricultural labor, what about them, Rajat Sethi? If they are sitting in Punjab and working as an agricultural labor and they don't have an agency of internet, what solution, IT-based solution you have for them?
No, so I think a train-based solution should also be given by Election Commission. A train should be run between Punjab and Bihar so that those are ferried back to the
Registered
hometown.
as a voter in
There is no
Chhattisgarh.
end to this.
I don't get delegated.
See, this is a migrant problem.
Chhattisgarh, my home to vote in
No,
Viধাnsabha
it's not
elections.
as
I go
simple
to
as
my
you would want to. Yes,
No,
you want to
no,
make it.
And
Agricultural
to
laborers
prove
who are.
it doesn't require me to visit election commission office and say that I am not living here or I have my
No,
hometown
that
here.
duty is the
No,
citizens.
it doesn't happen. No.
No, Pooja, that duty is the citizens. When you go shift and you want a voter ID card from a new place, if you're shifting permanently, that duty is yours. But what about those workers who are coming back and forth? One second. One at a time. Siddharth Yadav, very quickly, then I go across to Mr. Kumar as well.
Shivani, I don't think it is that complicated, and by what I know, I'll tell you the process. So if a family of 5 is there, the entire 5 members of the family are not migrant workers. Say 2 people are working, the women are there, the elders are there. If the BLO and the BLA go to the residence to verify in the SIR, if they verify that their family member is out on work but lives here, the name is added. Now the 30 lakh number that you are saying, Nobody knows that they do not have voter ID cards in other states that they are working.
Yeah, so
We
it will
don't even
help.
know
It
they
will
are just-
help to have that clarity if the EC could tell us out of these 30
Absolutely.
lakhs,
Absolutely.
these
So
many
what-
have
I'll tell you,
IDs in other states, and only this
I-
is the number which has been found, not found at all. People who haven't come
Shivani-
forward at all.
Shivani, SIR has now happened in Bihar currently. So EC can come up with a number of double voter cards, have people having double voter cards in Bihar. When the
Okay.
exercise happens across the country, definitely this can come out.
Okay.
And the IT-based solutions that the Election Commission is trying and inculcating every time, I think those are going to be the solutions as well. But we can't be speculating that these 30 lakh people were just out away on work in different states, and
Okay.
when they get back, they
Fair
are going
enough.
to know, oh, we don't
There
have
is
votes here.
there is an element of presupposition as far as what happened to these 30 lakh people. 20 lakh have been accepted as deceased now, and some others have shifted permanently, but we don't have the clear data. But Mr. Kumar, don't you think that on suspicion alone, you cannot question the entire exercise? The exercise is merited, it is required, it is mandated by law.
See, one thing is very clear that we have not been ever opposed to SIR. We are against the process and timing. My friend from BJP, what he was talking about the systematic problem Bihar, unemployment, migration and poverty. I think my friend is not much aware of the ground realities. That even entire family shifted with their work in the outside of a state with regard to the migration. So what we are raising, you are saying that all the problem issue we are raising is not significant. I tell you, Honorable Court has taken note of it, what we are raising. Second, TDP has noted it, JDU MP has noted it. So everyone is noted it. Actually, ground zero report, when it will cover from the ground, it will come to know that what we are talking, that is a hard reality.
But sir, don't you think the onus is also on political parties like yourself now that you have the draft voter list, you present the cases which you feel you have found on ground, which are erroneous. We can't talk in the air, right?
No, Shivani, one thing is what we are raising, a very significant point. After coming up the first draft, that this entire draft is not much clear. 25,000 almost, people are closing in one segment block. We need data, we need name. So name, and once everything is clear, the factual thing will come on the surface. We will able to locate one point. If you allow me to speak for a couple of seconds, then I'll conclude and you'll go ahead.
Yes.
That my dear friend of the BJP is talking about that entire SIR process. You should be aware that our battle is not vacuum, friend. You are in power for 20 years. There is no single word for the people at bottom. 65 lakh people are big number. Single voter should not be left out. Don't set any narrative. Come with the fact.
Okay.
Second point I would like to add to my dear political analyst friend.
Shivani, what should we do?
One
to the
second,
people
let
who
him
have
finish.
died?
Let him finish, yes.
Yeah, so my dear friend from a political analyst, I would like to add, if you check the data of 2012 of the BJP stalwart leaders, you will find that whatever they take on that, voter ID card and Aadhaar number. So naming the Congress may be your option for you. And nowadays, with my all due respect to the political analyst, and no, I'm not generalizing this concept of some of them, and I respect this gentleman, my friend also, that many people find they should come better as a spokesperson of any party. Sometimes I think so. I'm not generalizing this concept.
Okay. All right. I think it's important now that the dust settles as far as this SIR issue is concerned. We all want clarity.
Shivani, just a quick reply, please.
Yes,
10
yes,
seconds.
yes.
Shivani, I think having this debate with learned people like Dr. Sham, I would give him the opportunity. This entire month is for objections. Take out of the 30 lakh, take out 1,000 people, go there, you have the draft rolls, go there and find the people whose name have been deleted. Don't sit every day on news channels, by saying atom bomb aayega, kal nahi to parson aayega, but you have nothing, no name, no address, no person who has been wrongly deleted. This entire month is for that.
Okay.
You have workers, you are fighting the election, find out one person, okay, not 1,000, I'm sorry,
Okay.
one person.
All right.
And then
I've
come
run
here
out of
and
time,
say-
but I think what this debate has done is also kind of bring into focus in a country like ours, a developing country like ours, whether voters should also have some onus on them to take care of the fact that they have the franchise, they have the right to to go and use that franchise, or can they be carefree and not care whether what their name is there, not there, it's here, not there. Yes, we have issues of poverty and of constraints, but certainly there is a certain amount of pride that the voter needs to also have in the fact that they get to vote. And I think the EC had indicated to the fact that a lot of people don't come forward. I mean, it's not a surprise that we only have about 50, 60%, 65% voting that takes place. So we make such a big deal about the voting right and your name being in the voter list. How many people turn up? That is also a question to be asked. But I'll leave it for another day. I do thank our guests for joining us. Siddharth continues to be with us. Rahul Gandhi, Congress MP and leader of opposition, faced yet another embarrassing rap from the Supreme Court today over one of his political statements. The Supreme Court granted relief to him but pulled up Gandhi for his comments where he had alleged that several thousand square kilometers of India's territory had been annexed by China and that Indian soldiers were being thrashed by their Chinese counterparts in Arunachal Pradesh. This is in context of Galwan 2020 clash. Accusing him of demoralizing the Indian armed forces and questioning whether his immature comments were in the interests of countries inimical to India, BJP has lashed out at Rahul Gandhi and attacked him following the Supreme Court's observations. But first up, let's tell you exactly what this is about. Addressing a press conference on December 16, 2022, Rahul Gandhi had claimed, one, that China is preparing for a war and the centre is hiding it, not accepting it. He went on to add that the ones who captured 2,000 square kilometers of India and killed 20 Indian soldiers are thrashing our soldiers in Arunachal Pradesh. These are comments that have landed him in trouble in courts earlier as well. The top court stayed proceedings in this matter, but the observations had done the damage. Court asked the LOP, why doesn't he say these things in Parliament instead? Why does he say this on social media or in the public forum? It reiterated that one cannot say anything just because there is freedom of speech in the country. The court asked if Rahul had any credible evidence to make these claims and then remarked, if you were a true Indian, you wouldn't be saying such things. These comments, of course, spread like wildfire. This isn't the first time, though, that Rahul Gandhi has faced these reversals in courts. His legal woes are not new at all. It started in 2016 itself, when the Supreme Court had slammed him for alleging that RSS was behind Mahatma Gandhi's murder. Supreme Court had asked him to furnish proof or apologize. In 2019, ahead of the Lok Sabha polls, Rahul Gandhi had mounted serious attacks on the Rafale deal at that time, going on to say that even the Supreme Court says that Chaukidar chor hai. Remember, Supreme Court had pulled him up and he had to offer an unconditional apology for misquoting the Supreme Court. In 2023, ahead of the next Lok Sabha polls, Rahul Gandhi was in fact convicted for 2 years for his defamatory statements suggesting that all thieves have the Modi surname. He was even stripped of his MPship only for the SC to stay that sentence. Earlier this year, Rahul Gandhi was pulled up for his comments against Veer Savarkar, where he had called him a British servant. Court called it an irresponsible statement. And then also earlier this year, for the same set of comments that have now landed him in trouble, he was pulled up by Allahabad High Court for saying that Chinese troops are thrashing Indian counterparts. The question that many are raising now is that with one more rap from the Supreme Court itself, not from political parties, are the leader of opposition's actions becoming a liability for the Congress party? Remember, Rahul Gandhi has also been slammed by many for echoing what Donald Trump had said on the Indian economy, calling it a dead one instead of standing up for India. That debate is coming up.
सवाल है राहुल गांधी का। आज अगर सबसे निर्भीक, निडर, साहसी आवाज मोदी सरकार के खिलाफ कुछ उठ रही है तो उसका नाम है राहुल गांधी।
I am very happy that at least Supreme Court has now given him a warning. It's a straightforward rebuke that as an Indian, Shri Rahul Gandhi should not speak like that.
जब ये टिप्पणी आई है तो एक सवाल उठता है, does India, does Bharat deserve a more responsible, a better leader of opposition?
Let's go across to our guest joining us. Siddharth Yadav of the BJP continues to be with us. Asma Tasleem, spokesperson of the Congress party, is with us. I do thank you for your patience, Asma. The question that many are asking today is, with more and more of Rahul Gandhi's statements landing the Congress party in a sort of an embarrassment, are his comments, his political jibes, attacks becoming a liability for the Congress party?
Hi, Shivani. I'd like to say that the leader of opposition has the responsibility on his shoulder as a patriotic Indian to question the government. After Galwan clash of 2020, we lost 20 soldiers. After that martyrdom, our Prime Minister has given a clean chit to China saying that na koi ghusa hai, na koi ghusega. Just after 4 days of the Galwan clash. So the question arises here that why did the clash take place if there was no ghusa hai or ghusega, right? That question arises here. And next, after that, the General Staff of Army, Upendra Dwivedi was his name. He mentioned that there was a need to go back to the status quo ante of April 2020. That means you cannot deny the fact that Chinese transgression took place.
But ma'am, does intrusion of any kind, fair enough,
Shivani,
even if there was an
I'm just
intrusion of some
coming-
kind, one second, even if there was an intrusion of some kind, does that mean the LOP can, take such a sensitive issue and claim that 2,000 square kilometers have been fraudulently occupied by China?
The question which are in the minds of people, he has always, we opposition has been demanding since a long time for the parliamentary discussion. However, the government never responds to it. Then what forum do you have to express your opinions as
But
a freedom
ma'am,
of
the
speech?
question that even
On those as a Shivani, let me complete. On those assertions are made by Shri Rahul Gandhi, it was through the imagery of satellite and the credible sources. And I can show you number of evidences of it.
So will you be
It
going
was
back?
just not-
Will you be
it
going
was
back to
also
court and showing those evidences? Because the court is asking a simple question. One, do you have evidence of making this claim that 2,000 square kilometers were occupied by China during this recent clash? Nobody is denying the clash. Nobody is denying the Galwan 2020 clash where we lost 20 of our Jawans. All of that is, of course, on public record. The issue is asking a question versus making an assertion. In fact, he went on to say the media is not asking these questions. He suggested that he has the information that everybody has and everybody knows this as some ordinary information and truth. But somehow people are not talking about it. He suggested that this was the absolute truth.
Okay, Shivani, I'll come back to that point that he made an assertion. So if it was not true, if Modi government is completely denying that the transgression did not take place, then what made them to go ahead and negotiate an agreement of India-China border patrol agreement?
Okay.
Why did they initiate this agreement with India and China?
Okay.
What circumstances made them to negotiate for this agreement?
Okay. Can
If they
Siddharth
are
Yadav
denying
please
that
respond to
there
this?
was
If
no-
nothing happened, and this debate happened at that time also, Siddharth, you will remember. If nothing happened, then why was India asking for status quo ante, first of all? Obviously, situation had changed, status quo had changed. What do you make of the fact that the Congress's defense, even in court today, Rahul Gandhi's defense was that he is the leader of opposition, and if he doesn't ask these questions, then who will?
Shivani, I think we must know the background of the land that we are speaking about, and we must also know the political background of the same. We have lost 35,000 square kilometers of that area under the leadership of former Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru. It's a tough terrain. Some of that terrain is also, for common patrolling. Some of that terrain is also yet disputed, because once we acceded to the demands of China then, and once we gave away that land, the territory which is our territory, which is on our map, things have become very difficult. Now, having said all of that, there is no denial that a Galwan clash happened. There is no denial that our forces work very hard, work very tirelessly to not give away 1 inch of our land. And there is no denial that it is on official record that no inch of our land has been given. The question is something different. When the Supreme Court says that no true patriot of this country would come and say, "Hamare jawan pit rahe hain," हमने 2000 किलोमीटर उनको जमीन दे दी. Where is this 2000 kilometer figure come from? One, there's a very famous saying, with great authority comes great responsibility. A leader of opposition is a position of greatest responsibility. One has to accept that responsibility. You can't be sleeping in a dream and then wake up suddenly and then say 2000 kilometers have gone, 3000 kilometers have gone. Oh, I am thinking 5000 kilometers is the figure I should quote today. That is not how the country works. If you are a citizen and a citizen has a right to question the government through an RTI, you are a member of the parliament. You raise a question in the parliament. Surprisingly so, the Rahul Gandhi has never raised any question in the parliament asking how much land was given, what happened after Galwan clash. He came up with his own figures, with his own map and all of that. You can't be doing that, and this is not the first time. We know the Supreme Court
issue is Asma Tasneem. I was going to come exactly to that. Asma Tasneem, the issue is, one second, the issue is that as leader of opposition, he has made certain comments in the past and courts themselves have wrapped him. When you are making charges or allegations against someone, you have to be very much in the clear that you can prove those allegations. Whether it's Veer Savarkar comments, RSS being behind Gandhi's killing comments, Chaukidar Chor hai being attributed to the Supreme Court, his membership had come under the hammer at that time. And now, for example, recently he came out and said, he was the only one from the Congress party even, to say that yes, Donald Trump is right, Indian economy is dead. Do you think sometimes Rahul Gandhi is not measuring the impact of his statements?
Rahul Gandhi makes all the possible statements which will come true. It's just eventually the matter of time. Okay, he made a statement about.
What does that mean? For example, his comment on RSS his comment of RSS being behind Gandhi's assassination, that can't come true with passage of time. It isn't true.
Nathuram Godse has a connection to RSS.
Yeah, so say it like that. You can't say RSS was behind the killing, right?
Are you denying that Nathuram was not at all associated with RSS?
But you have to then present it like that. You can't say RSS was guilty of his assassination. That's a completely different thing. That's what he said.
But the key conspirator, whoever has done it, was aligned with RSS.
So?
No, this is absolutely wrong. No, this is absolutely wrong.
No, by that logic, once again, by that logic, some of Congress leaders have been found guilty of the 1984 anti-Sikh riots. By that logic, was the Congress entirely behind it?
Which riots? 1984 riots.
Yes. Your leaders have been convicted for it.
That has been apologized by
the Congress. It's not a matter of apology then. Where does the blame go?
Has been done in the past.
It's not about that. Asbaji, you're not understanding the point I'm making. If you're going to make an organization that has any link with any culprit or criminal liable for the actions of that individual, that will also fall on a political party like you. So you can't just say that just because somebody supposedly had a link to an organization, that organization should cop the blame for an assassination. Isn't that taking it too far? That's exactly what he was pulled for. It's almost seeming like the Congress doesn't want to learn from its lessons.
Shivani, one question I want to ask you, that why did Sardar Patel impose the ban on RSS?
I'm not discussing RSS. I'm discussing the comments that you can make alleging criminality on somebody's part, but I have a final 30 seconds. I'll give it to Siddharth Yadav.
By Rahul Gandhi has
I think
it hasn't been proved. He had to offer a statement to explain. He then went on to say that he is not blaming the RSS. He had to do that in the court. So, Siddharth Yadav, please, 20 seconds.
Shivani, I think this was answered in the Supreme Court itself. The Congress spokesperson should go and check the proceedings there. He also apologized for what remarks he made to Savarkar. He also apologized for what remarks he made on Rafale. He always apologizes. So how does this come up that eventually it will all come true? What is coming true? You make a statement and then you apologize. You don't know what you were saying. And eventually you'll come out and apologize. And when it comes down to the assassination of Mahatma Gandhi, it is on record in the parliament. The former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji has come out and said Nathuram Godse was a critique, an open critique of the RSS.
Okay,
but
I'm not getting into that. That's not the issue. The issue is whether as politicians and even in political opposition, one has to be careful of what you're saying and how it's going to be used on facts, but also on the impact that your statements can have. I do thank our guests for joining us. Moving on to our CNN News 18 focus, whether it's our roads, the air we breathe, the garbage piling up, or the rains that flood our streets every year, it's getting harder to ignore how badly our urban infrastructure is cracking up. This isn't the first time. Citizens deserve better. And in this CNN News 18 campaign, we are getting you reports from the Delhi NCR region exposing the decay on ground.
Welcome to the Millennium City of Gurugram, a city that is known as the IT hub near the Delhi NCR region, a city where the elite of the elitist actually live over here. Even after rains have subsided for the last more than 2.5 hours, out here the situation in Gurugram continues to remain grim. Currently, I am reporting from this underpass, which is very close to this Sheetla Devi Mata Mandir, and very close also to one of the most poshest areas out here in the district of Gurugram. And you can see in the visuals over here, over the last 2.5 years, there has been absolutely no rain that has been reported from anywhere in Gurugram, or for that matter in the NCR region as well. And till now, the situation of these underpasses continue to remain grim. Traffic movement has been stopped in this entire area, which has eventually meant that the people who were traveling to their offices, people who were commuting through these routes, they continue to face these massive issues of lack of civic infrastructure that can be seen and that stands exposed yet again out here in the city of Gurugram. This is yet another underpass that remains to stay closed for traffic even at this point in time. Definitely the situation in Gurugram is actually very grim. Several places had reported water logging, but over the last few hours since the rains have subsided, the situation has improved. But in places like these, which sees heavy traffic across the day, the condition remains very grim. In fact, that is one of the reasons why today the Gurugram administration took this decision to pass an order that people who would be commuting to their works, they should prefer work from home mode of work for today as well.
Brought to you by This is News 18 Network. India's largest news network.
The proceedings in the criminal defamation case against leader of opposition Rahul Gandhi over the remarks made by him about the Indian army in the context of the 2020 Galwan Valley clash with China. Now, even though interim relief was granted during the hearing, the bench made oral remarks expressing disapproval of Rahul's remarks. All right, so remember, there was in fact a statement that was made by Rahul Gandhi, and that was in fact a defamation case was filed against him, and now the case has reached Supreme Court, where it has stayed the proceedings in the criminal defamation case against leader of opposition Rahul Gandhi over the remark that he had in fact made about the Indian army in the context of the 2020 Galwan Valley clash with China. Now, even though interim relief was granted to Rahul Gandhi during the hearing, the bench has made oral remark expressing disapproval of the remarks made by Rahul Gandhi at this point. All right, I'm now joined by CNN News 18's Ananya Bhatnagar. Ananya, take us through the observations that were made by Supreme Court on this case.
Well, definitely the Supreme Court came down heavily on Rahul Gandhi, completely criticizing the kind of statements that he's made, going as far as to say that, a true Indian won't make such kind of statements. The top court also questioned Rahul Gandhi as to why, if at all he had certain doubts, why did he not ask the same question in the parliament by a proper way? You being a leader of the opposition, why would you say all these things is what the topmost of the country very well went on to say? It also said that why will you not ask these questions in the parliament was a pointed question from, in fact, the topmost of the country to, in fact, Rahul Gandhi. They said that how did you know about the 2,000 kilometers being annexed by the Chinese? If you're a true Indian, you wouldn't say that, is what the top court had to say. However, a stay has been granted on the trial court proceedings as far as this case is concerned, but there have been, in fact, a certain criticism that is coming from the topmost of the country as far as the leader of opposition is concerned.
But what about the status in the case? What about, because when we talk about the entire case, the case was taken up in the Lucknow court as well. And now when the matter has reached Supreme Court, who is the petitioner in the case? What exactly is the status as far as Rahul Gandhi's such remarks are concerned?
It is in fact a petition that has been filed by Rahul Gandhi himself, who was seeking a stay on the trial court proceedings. He has approached, in fact, the top court. The court also questioned him as to why did he not raise these grounds before. In fact, the High Court, however, senior advocate Abhishek Manu Singhvi was appearing for Mr. Rahul Gandhi, very categorically stated that, the High Court felt that he is not the but somebody who has defamed the Indian Army personnel. And that is something, that made Rahul Gandhi approach the top court of the country. And finally, now a stay has been granted by the Supreme Court. However, much criticism coming in as far as the leader of opposition in the Lok Sabha is concerned.
All right, I request you, Ananya, to please stay with us as I'm now joined by BJP leader Shehzad Poonawalla on this broadcast. Many thanks, Mr. Shehzad Poonawalla, for joining with us. Your reaction to how Supreme Court has come down heavily on Rahul Gandhi for making remarks against the army personnel.
If Rahul Gandhi has any shame left, he should quit his position as LOP, because the Supreme Court has made a stinging indictment of the unfounded and unsubstantiated propaganda and Pakistani language that he speaks. When the court says that what proof you have that the Chinese have occupied territory and no Indian would speak like this, it, I think, is a reflection of what kind of propaganda Rahul spreads. And this is not the first time, whether it is Operation Sindoor being called surrender, whether it is surgical strike being called Khoon Ki Dalali, whether it is Sadak Ka Gunda, whether it is denial of the basic things that our armed forces required, whether it is the propaganda against Rafale. Rahul Gandhi and the Congress have been at the forefront of Sena Ka Apman. On one hand, they give clean sheet to Pakistan. On the other hand, they do attack on the manobel of our armed forces. Now, Rahul Gandhi should come out and tell us. And you would remember in the same case, the Allahabad High Court had also come down very heavily when he said that our soldiers are being beaten up. So सेना के मनोबल को तोड़ना ये कांग्रेस का एक ही काम बच चुका है. कांग्रेस की एक ही पहचान, पाकिस्तान का गुणगान, सेना का अपमान.
Also, Shehzad Poonawalla, the lawyer representing Rahul Gandhi, Abhishek Manu Singhvi, in the court says that it is in fact a harmful statement. It was an innocuous statement that was made and nothing to actually be hurt the army personnel or any remark that could hurt the army personnel is a statement that has been made in the court.
No, in Mr. Singhvi's contention, saying that your armed forces surrendered is also harmless. In his contention, calling the surgical strike as a Khoon Ki Dalali is also harmless. In his contention, when the entire world is saying that a new normal has been set through Operation Sindoor, undermining the armed forces is also harmless. Giving away Aksai Chin was also harmless. Giving away POK was also harmless. Giving away our troop movements was also harmless. Not giving our troops NWM or OROP is also harmless. So I think Congress party has today started speaking the language of Pakistan, and therefore LOP for Rahul stands for leader of Pakistan.
Absolutely. But also, all right, many thanks, Mr. Shehzad Poonawalla, for joining with us and sharing your perspective. Let me now go back to my colleague Ananya Bhatnagar on this. Ananya, now that all the procedures have been stayed by Supreme Court, what is the next, move as far as Rahul Gandhi is concerned? Because you mentioned that he himself is the petitioner in the case.
Well, yes, all the procedures as far as the trial court proceedings are concerned are currently stayed. The Supreme Court has now issued a notice to the Uttar Pradesh government, which is in fact the prosecution in this particular case, and has got their response as far as this case is concerned. What happens next is something that only time can tell us, but definitely strong words from the top court coming in questioning as to why Mr. Gandhi made such statements. And